Motorsports Club for Portland State University. My name is Reed Stoner. I'm the Vice President. Here I have Jake, who's our Technical Officer and also kind of our car guru, and our President, Antonio Novello. To his left, I have Mario, Martin, and Quinn. We're here to talk about our Baja program. So we're Viking Motorsports, like I said before, to talk about what we did in 2024. We are restarting our team. It has, last year, our team had 2 people in the entire organization. What we did in 2024, though, thankfully we had 3 capstones, which are senior projects, working on Baja with the plan of competing in the Washougal race in 2026. We had a drivetrain team, we had a suspension team, and a chassis team. They completed their work to fruition. But we still had no program, so over the summer, Antonio, well, all 3 of us, but Antonio to begin, really kicked off an extensive recruiting campaign. He'll talk about that a bit more. So was the work for 2020, was last year's goal completed? I would say tentatively yes. The chassis is complete for the most part. We still have suspension and drivetrain work to do though. So going into what we're doing for this year, we're trying to compete in Washougal, Washington in May, if I didn't already say that. And what has to happen? We have to finish our Baja car. How are we doing that? We've broken it up into, we're trying to get people in the door and get, allow us to be accessible for everybody. So we've got the senior capstones working, we've got 1 senior capstone that's working on our Baja, kind of finishing the Baja validation. We have kind of our juniors and sophomores getting involved with slightly more accessible things like creating the firewall, the body panels for the Baja, and then, well, that's mostly it. I am going to pass it off down to Jake, okay?
Yeah, so hi, thanks for having us here. I'm going to try to keep this brief, but I do want to talk about just a couple of things that we're really trying to work on. If you could work the slides. I wanted to put some of the more specific stuff in here, and then Antonio will go back to more of the organizational stuff. Like Reed said, we do have kind of the work from a previous capstone, well, a couple previous capstones. What we've got is a full frame that has been assembled in our lab. And with that, we've gone through and just kind of verified that it does meet the current specs, because there are changes year to year, obviously, and so we wanted to make sure that we had a good place to start from. We also had a suspension team, if you just want to keep going one more, that was able to get to a couple different, I don't want to say completion points, but definitely first designs, prototypes, and we were able to get some of that actually 3D printed out and verified, like some of the test fitting stuff, and then be able to iterate on that. It's kind of our goal. And then as well, one of the things that we're really trying to do this year and moving forward is, one, set future years of competitions up for success by really working on documentation and getting different people kind of working on that, everything that we do, so it's a nice, easy transfer of knowledge. And then also, one of the unique things I think is great about PSU is that we can bring a lot of like diverse and unique experience from people, because a lot of people do go back into school and have had previous careers. So we have a lot of like individuals with like real hands-on mechanical experience, have either been mechanics, master techs. I've worked on cars and been building and competing in motorsports in various ways for 20 plus years now. So just kind of getting more integrated, and then also getting people in different positions to be successful and kind of do what they're good at. And again, like Reed said, really open up the club for all too. So I'll kind of let Antonio expand on that a little bit.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. So essentially, what we're looking at here is kind of our proposed budget for the team. And so we're aiming low, and we've also got the option to go high on certain purchases. But essentially right now we're working on engine, the drivetrain, the wheels and tires, and trying to land within budget for everything, while also setting some expectations and some targets for us, some stretch targets for us to essentially get some donors and some fundraising efforts in place. So right now, one of our main goals has been essentially to recruit. And so there's been a large recruiting effort from our team where essentially we, about maybe 3 to 4 months ago, it was just 2 people. It was just me and one other person on the team. And so essentially my big thing has been to make the MS or the motorsport team as inclusive as possible. So bringing out people, going to ticketing events, going to different welcoming events for the university, and essentially opening it up so that the engineers can focus on engineering, while business people can focus on the business side of things, arts people can focus on the art side of things. And so we've essentially had a huge effort thus far. This is what it's looked like since 2020. So a total of 381 people have shown interest in the club. And so for PSU, that's, I would say, generally huge, with it being a large commuter school. And so here's a breakdown of the different, essentially the different graduate programs that they're working on, undergrad programs that they're working on, and some even graduate programs. And so as you can see, there's people that are on music and such. Sorry, I'll try to remember. Maybe my timer. Okay, sorry, that was my timer. And so essentially here we have our signups per year. And so in the past, some of our higher years before COVID was 76, 74, and then some of those years went a lot lower. This year, as of, I believe, 2 days ago, we broke 122 people that signed up and were interested in the club. And so that's something that we're definitely focusing on in order to get people integrated into the club. And essentially the idea is for people to get hooked in on the social aspects of things. We're setting up sim racers, we're setting up go-karting, we're setting up race watching parties where we can essentially get in the auditorium and watch a Formula One race, or watch any other motorsports activities going on. And that's been a huge engagement opportunity for people, where essentially we've been able to, before you start watching races, you start playing video games with us, and next thing you know, you're working on suspension and frame and aero packages. So that's kind of the strategy. So let's see, this is team inquiries for just this year alone. Like I said, 122 people. The majority are mechanical engineers, because that's kind of our bread and butter. We are funded kind of directly from the mechanical engineering department, but a lot of our interest has also been around electrical engineering, computer engineering, computer science. And so that's something that we're looking to take advantage of, so that, from what I understand, in the past, clubs struggle with electrical, with wiring, and so that's definitely something where we're looking to make those changes. And as a good electrical engineer can tell you, there's a lot to be had from good, clean wiring and being able to troubleshoot. So essentially right now, again, a lot of our social engagement is around race watching parties, different shop tours for local vendors and local industry leaders, go-kart racing, sim racing, and then we also want to integrate some non-SAE racing. We inherited a car that was in kind of pretty rough shape from 2017, and so we want to integrate that as a test platform, but also potentially integrate that into some autocross or some SCCA events to get our team up to speed to what a competition looks like and what a pit crew should be operating as. And then on top of that, we're doing the academic engagement, where we're working with the different faculty members to get people integrated from their 100 level and 200 level courses to be able to work on projects that can go into the cars, and then just expand from there from the time they get into their capstone projects come senior year. And so those are definitely some strategies that we're working on, trying to integrate the school as a whole, not just mechanical engineering, not just electrical engineering, but anybody that's doing art major and having to do their art portfolios, business majors, they have to do their capstone. And so that's essentially what we're working on, is making sure that we're engaging PSU as a whole. And because, as some of our members mentioned, PSU is a non-traditional school where a lot of people go out and have full careers, where they're auto technicians and and master technicians and business leaders and small business owners. They come back, they can do their undergrad, and they can integrate all that knowledge into the team. And so what sets us apart, again, like I said, we're non-traditional, and we have a lot of hands-on background. A lot of our people can take apart an engine, put it back together, and so we're planning on putting all that practical knowledge to good use within the team. And given some of those universities are usually top 3, top 5, giving them a run for their money, because we know we have the knowledge, and then now we can have the essentially the theory behind it, piece it all together. And essentially what we want right now is, what we're looking for is building confident individuals within our team, people that are essentially ready to hit the ground running as soon as they graduate, come back and collaborate as alumni, as post-grad students, and essentially giving people an opportunity to test all of their designs, test all of their maybe thesis projects on our cars, and then be able to graduate with internships, with job offers, ready to go. We're actively involved with Daimler. We were here last week, and we had an opportunity to interface with, I would say, about 30 different PSU alumni that were present, and we're wanting to reintegrate them and bring them back onto the team so that we can have some good exchanges of knowledge. Also, what we would like from our potential sponsors and our community partners is to give us the opportunity to essentially trust in our leaders, to be able to open up your shops, provide some lab tours. We're organizing tech talks. If you'd like to come to PSU and give us a tech talk of what it is that your organization does, we're more than welcome to do that. And of course, raising is expensive, and if you can't donate your time, if you can't donate tools or anything like that, then of course we're just like any other team, accepting contributions through our 501c, I think it is, our nonprofit arm, so that people can essentially get involved in that way. But we're always looking for new and innovative ways for people to be interacting with our team and collaborating